We are so happy that families and friends of our graduates have joined us from around the world and from around the country to celebrate this important day. Welcome and thank you all for being here. And now I will introduce Dr. Michelle Nealon, President of the Chicago School of Professional Psychology.
Thank you, Ms. Marshall. It's my distinct honor and pleasure to be here for our virtual celebration of the Southern California campus's class of 2020. For our graduates, this event is the culmination of several years of study. For the families of our graduates, this event is the manifestation of all of your hopes and dreams. For the faculty who toiled along with our graduates, this event is a moment of immense pride in your accomplishments. These graduation ceremonies are always a time to celebrate, a time to reflect, a time to prepare. Today, as always, advice will be given and stories will be told. There will be laughter and tears and applause, and there may even be a technical difficulty or two. Either way, even in this abridged ceremony, I know that it will be a memorable one. And now I'd like to introduce your department chair, Dr. Josh Weiner.
Dr. Josh, we can't hear you.
How about that? Can you hear that?
Perfect.
We'll use that microphone. See, technical difficulty completed. So, welcome to the 2020 season of the Brady Bunch. This is fantastic. These are really uncertain times, unprecedented, if you will. This is the new normal. We're all in this together. And as we navigate the surreal, the Kafkaesque, and battle this invisible enemy, and for the first time in years, we're all trying to not go viral, because these are the cliches that have become so commonplace that I imagine at least one of them had to have triggered a reflexive groan inside. And yet, all of them have been used at some point in the last 12 years that have passed since March 2020. And so when I was first asked to say something at this ceremony, my gut reaction was to focus intently on ignoring the cliches. But to figure out how to talk about this momentous occasion in the middle of a global pandemic without reverting to them. But then I realized, or asked myself, where do these cliches come from? Why do we use them? Right? And I asked, when do they show up? And what I found is we see them during meaningful rituals, like graduations, like weddings. We see them in times of deep loss and suffering, like in funerals and in wartime. And we see them, of course, as you've noticed, during global crises, as we have this last year. So in short, we see them in times of profound emotional impact that are ineffable. Right? So for those of you who are not familiar with this word, it really refers to those moments when language fails us, when words are not sufficient to capture this experience that we find ourselves in. And in that failure, what we do is we try and create some kind of word or phrase that we can use to share in that experience so that we can be together collectively. Because the indescribable is also deeply uncomfortable and lonely. And what could be more relevant to marriage and family therapists today? Our entire work exists in the between space. We don't work in isolation with an individual, but rather in the relationships that connect people. In a word, our work is ineffable. Our job is to find ways to give voice to and explore that which is indescribable. How many of you can think of at least one therapy cliche in a second? Right? Have you encouraged anyone to explore the process or gotten in touch with their inner child? Maybe you discussed some countertransference with a colleague. How often in each session do you find yourself coming up with an analogy, right, or a story to convey an idea that otherwise you have no way to explain? The work that we do is hard for the same reason that it matters, because we're working at the outer fringes of human understanding. in the realm of consciousness, right? Of the soul, of spirituality, of meaning, of value. We have so many words to describe different parts of what's really the same indescribable construct. So when we talk about things like the journey or being present, what we're really doing is describing the process of connecting deeply and fully with one another in an ineffable way. Right? How many theories did we teach you over the past few years? And yet not one of them is perfect because none of them tells the whole story. Right? The reality is that there is no manual. Each person, each situation, each moment requires us to wade through an indescribable ocean and then clumsily attempt to describe it. And each of you here today chose to work for years in order to jump into that ocean to help others swim. Right? Not even knowing where the shore might be, and yet trusting that if you followed the processes that you've learned, that you would make it back together. And for that alone, each of you should be immensely proud. Will you make mistakes? Absolutely. And will you help everyone? Absolutely not. But if you always remember that we are there to connect deeply, to develop deep relationships with others and with ourselves, then you will all do great work. So I would ask you to remember our favorite cliche. It's the process that matters. That being a great therapist and a great person does not require perfection from any of you, only meaningful connection and a willingness to change and to grow. Right now, our society is in the middle of an important but profoundly difficult reckoning. A global pandemic that's arguably caused or at least been made worse by human greed, a resurgence of the civil rights movement as our society continues to treat Black and brown people as less than fully human. And I imagine some of you in the middle of all of this may even wonder, how can we be here today celebrating with so much suffering around us? Perhaps some of you are losing hope or you're feeling selfish. And I would suggest to you that that is exactly why each of you here deserves to celebrate. Because as I look out at this sea of squares, I am filled with an immense hope, and I am also very, very proud. Right? In the middle of a pandemic, surrounded by what feels like the beginning of a civil war, you chose to persevere and find a way to help heal the world. Instead of hiding under the blanket, you made what I think is the most difficult and meaningful choice anyone can make right now, to be an agent of change. So each morning, I hope that you will be able to ask yourself, how can I make the world a little bit better today? And each evening, I hope that you can be kind to yourself and say, I did enough. That the mistakes that you made were okay, as long as you acknowledge them and use them to make a better tomorrow. In short, I hope you can treat yourselves with the kindness and care that you already extend to your clients. So be good, be kind, and you will all be great. And congratulations to you, the MFT class of 2020. And now it is my esteemed pleasure to introduce our student speaker, Jennifer Parkford, who is representing our Marriage and Family Therapy Department class of 2020.
Woo, 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 woo. Thank you. All right, my fellow graduates, here we are. We made it, and my goodness, what a year it's been. Honestly, though, this class better go down in history as the ones who still managed to hack it despite a global pandemic. I feel so honored and incredibly actually just taken aback by the opportunity to speak on behalf of this graduating class. So what I can do is speak from my experience. And I am so proud of myself, and I hope you are all so proud of yourselves too, because we have chosen a profession that is not for the faint of heart or spirit. And I know I'm not alone in saying that the amount of self-growth and awareness that has come from this graduate program has been completely life-changing. So thank you to the Chicago School for always pushing us to look at ourselves and our identities. Cue trash truck going by. To identify in ourselves our own biases, our choices, our blind spots, and for encouraging us to work on the parts that need work. To make sure that we put on our oxygen masks before helping anyone else put on theirs. And thank you, Chicago School, for providing us with the extraordinary professors, guides, and mentors who challenged us to be better versions of ourselves, to be ethical and critical thinkers, to feel, to heal. From Dr. Jones, I learned that we're all child therapists, all of us. Even if you don't treat children, every adult is just a grown-up child. And also she helped me learn to see my whiteness. It turns out I'm super white. I learned from Dr. Weiner how to be a curious listener and to embrace that terrifying therapeutic silence, which is still tough. Dr. Futterman inspired a passion for the profession and always challenged us to think systemically and existentially. Through this program, we became amateur neuropsychologists, diagnostic nerds, researchers, activists, community volunteers, and dream interpreters, which alone is already impressive. But there was also the multiple 20 to 30 page papers we've written, and the dozens of presentations, comprehensive exams, and the mounds of reading we've all lost sleep over, while trying to not diagnose ourselves and our friends and family and maintain some semblance of a normal life. So to the friends and family who are here today, thank you for your support. Whether or not this is a profession that you fully understand, I truly hope you know how challenging, inspiring, and just completely heart-opening it was for us to get to where we are today. Because this is not just about a master's degree. We're choosing to sit with people on their worst days. We're choosing to embrace darkness and confusion and anger with compassion and empathy. And we're choosing to dedicate our time to the growth of others. And this world is not going to get easier, but the humans in it, our clients and the children and the families that we help, that can get better. And that's the difference we can make as therapists. So even if it feels thankless at times, remember that you could be saving someone's life, truly. So congratulations. We did it, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Parkford. Very well said. I am Danielle Sporandio, Campus Dean of the Los Angeles campus. It is my pleasure to announce that we shall now proceed with the presentation of candidates for degrees. Each candidate has been approved by the faculty and the Board of Trustees to receive the degree indicated on their diploma, subject to the completion of all degree requirements. I would like to invite Dr. Josh Weiner to begin the presentation of candidates.
So we will now present the candidates for the Master of Arts in Clinical Psychology, Marital and Family Therapy Specialization degree, and we'll spotlight each candidate as their name is read. Graduates, if you have not already done so, please turn your cameras on at this time. We encourage you all to go off of mute and applaud our graduates after their name and information is read. Alicia Aurora.
Yay!
Lydia Campos.
Hi, congratulations! Family!
That was good, Dad.
Martha Del Bosque.
I can get it out.
Do we have Connie Del Valle? Max Ehrman. Kimberly Grajeda. Liana Gutierrez.
Nice.
Joanne Han.
Alex is there.
Kareem Khalil. Janet Leos. Amanda Levy. Liana Oganisian. Alexandra Palomaria.
Watch out for the step.
There's Jennifer Alcott Parkford. Jeet Patel.
Yes, G.
Elizabeth Pedrosa Estrada. With the baby. Carla Rizzo. Armin Sandhu.
Yes, Armin.
Aubrey Sexton.
Yes, Aubrey.
Sharon Toledano.
Sharon.
Tarare Vagefi.
Sherry.
All right, Sonia Walshin.
Did it.
Christina Zinda. All right, congratulations to our master's students. And now I will present the candidates for the Doctor of Psychology in Marital and Family Therapy degree and spotlight each candidate as their name is read. Candidates will be spotlighted as their name is read and their degree dissertation title is read, and they begin being hooded while I read your name. Crystal Blanchard Leonard, the dissertation development of a marital fidelity program for African American married couples, chaired by Dr. Terry Webster. Aww. Congratulations. And now we will invite Dr. Jones to read the name of her advisee.
Yay! Where is she? Arlene, where are you?
Dr. Jones, she's not here, but please say her name and we'll celebrate her anyways.
All right. Well, I'm very proud to present, Arlene Maribel Martinez with her degree in psych marriage and family therapy, marital and family therapy, and her dissertation title was Domestic Violence Among Latinos and Its Effect on the View of Marital Relationships in Young Adults Who Witnessed it as Children. And I was her dissertation chair. I'm very proud of her.
President Nealon, on behalf of the Marriage and Family Therapy faculty of the Chicago School of Professional Psychology, I present to you these candidates who have been approved by the faculty and the Board of Trustees to receive the degree indicated subject to the completion of all requirements, and respectfully request that you confer upon them the degrees for which they are qualified.
Thank you, Dr. Weiner. Here we go. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the Chicago School of Professional Psychology and by the State of California, I hereby confer upon you the degrees for which you have qualified with all of the rights, privileges, immunities, and honors thereunto pertaining. Congratulations to all of you grads. Turn off your mute buttons and let a big old hoot hoot out.
Oh, awesome.
Is there an after party?
We still got a little bit to go. We're going to do the oath of affirmation. John, are you available to give the oath?
Yes, please raise your right hand and recite with me the oath of affirmation and diversity now on your screen. Other professionals may join us to reaffirm their oath. Please remain muted as I recite the oath. I hereby affirm that I will discharge the responsibilities of my profession in a manner consistent with respect for the dignity and worth of the individual, and I shall strive for the preservation and protection of fundamental human rights. That I shall seek to increase knowledge of human behavior, to increase self-understanding and understanding of others, and that I shall use such knowledge for the promotion of human welfare. That I shall seek to embrace the profession's commitment to understand and respect individual and culture differences. That I shall diligently protect the welfare of those who seek my services, and that I shall use my skills only in the furtherance of human welfare and integrity of the individual. Oops. And that I shall well and truly recognize the traditions and ethics of my profession, and that I shall subscribe to these traditions and ethics freely and upon my honor. As a representative of the Chicago school community, I hereby affirm to actively participate in this learning and professional community by embracing its commitment to understand and respect individual and cultural differences. As such, I will seek to gain knowledge of human difference that I may increase my understanding of self and others, and I will seek to build an environment of mutual respect and inclusion where all are valued.
Thank you, John. Class of 2020, congratulations once again. I am proud and happy to welcome you to the alumni ranks of the Chicago School. Each of you has worked so hard and long to get here. I'm additionally pleased to congratulate your loved ones, many of whom I hope were able to join us for this virtual commencement exercise. I know the extent to which they have supported your dreams and how thrilled they are to share in your sense of accomplishment today. I know too that their dream for your future doesn't end here. You still have so many opportunities ahead. Graduation is always a time for celebration, a time to revel along with family and friends in all that you've accomplished. But never has there been more of a cause for celebration than this year. Those of you who are receiving your diplomas today have completed your education during one of the most, if not the most, challenging periods in our lives and in our world's recent history. Many of you have had to switch gears on a moment's notice and transition to a new learning modality. Even those of you who were already blended students had your lives upended in ways we couldn't have foreseen just a few short months ago. Concerns about the coronavirus and about the economic and social upheaval it brought with it have, I'm sure, insinuated their way into the lives of each and every one of you, tossing new hurdles into your academic pathway. But you have persevered, and you are here today to celebrate the completion of this important step in your pathway to the future. As you leave the Chicago School, now and forever your alma mater, you will take with you the values that are intrinsic to our model of education, values that I hope have seeped as deeply into your soul as they have mine, as well as the commitment to use your understanding of psychology to make the world a better place. So let's reflect for a moment on what education stands for. Your education, the degree that's conferred upon you today, represents the knowledge and abilities that you have acquired, the insights that you have developed, and the understanding that has come from being part of a supportive learning community that has intentionally challenged you to do your best and to be your best. It stands for the goals that you have set for yourself and the incremental achievements that have brought you even closer to their accomplishment. Your education has also prepared you to think beyond textbook scenarios or the ones that you've encountered during your practicum experiences and internships. It has prepared you to problem solve and to call on the knowledge that you have amassed along with the values that you've nurtured, to confront new challenges and unforeseen shifts in the world around you. As you take your place in society, grappling with unprecedented health, economic, and social crises that have altered our lives unimaginably and threaten to do so for the indefinite future, your skills, your values, and your compassion will be sorely needed. On the heels of COVID-19, we have a second pandemic looming, and that is the exponential increase in mental health challenges that face the millions of people who are scrambling to protect themselves and their loved ones, not only from the virus, but also from the stresses and strains and realities that come with trying to put food on the table or hang on to a job. Whether you will be working in schools, clinics, businesses, community-based organizations, the justice system, or a private practice, you will have a significant role to play in the recovery of our country. Use your education well and know that the Chicago School will always be proud of the difference you are making. Through diligent hard work and with big dreams for your future, each of you has become the graduate that we now celebrate and that we confidently send out into this world. It is a different world than the one in which you launched your academic career, but I have confidence that it will be a better place because you're in it, putting Chicago School ideals and values into practice. Congratulations to each and every one of you and to your department.
As we draw our celebration to a close, I now open the floor to our faculty. What pieces of wisdom would you share with these graduates as they move into their field?
Hi, Dr. G here. First of all, big thanks to all of you for the work you've done. You're off to a new world, but it's clear from the work you've done and the values you've acquired that you will help heal whatever comes our way and move on to something better. Thank you.
Dr. Bacon, would you like to say any thoughts?
Well, I'm amazed that we've made it this far together. Sometimes I think it's got to be overwhelming when you first start off in the program and then you look back and say, wow, that went so fast. And so it's really exciting to have a day where we can watch you go off into your future. And I hope that you will see each day as an opportunity for a new adventure. And also that you'll stay connected with us and let us know how you're doing, because it's always fun to see you continue to grow and develop in your careers. And we're always available to you to continue to mentor you and help you move forward. So congratulations to everybody.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, hello everyone. Well, I had the privilege to work with a number of you, although it was in an adjunct faculty role, as I recently returned to the Chicago School as a full-time faculty member. But for those that I had the opportunity to work with, I'm excited to be here and to celebrate with you today. And for those who I did not have the opportunity to work with, I am fully assured of the skills and the excellent training that you have had during the program here at the Chicago School. As a graduate from the doctoral program, I can speak to that from firsthand experience. So I think that these skills and the learning that you've had will well prepare you for your continued career as you develop as a marriage and family therapy professional. And I wish you all the best of luck.
Well, hello, everybody. To the ones that I haven't had the pleasure of teaching in person, I'm sorry. I wish I could have that chance. This is actually, to me, really cool. I know that it's not what you might want it. I know it would have been very cool if we could hug, but we don't usually get the chance to say anything to you while you walk. I just can whistle and scream, you know, for everybody. That's all we can get. So this is great that at least we can have this intimacy through, you know, deal with what's happening today. I am very proud of calling you my colleagues. My whole goal during this program was always that, you know, to see you grow, to see you get to this point, to see what were you going to become, like what kind of clinician were you going to be. Yes, please, please remember, don't burn bridges. It's a very small group of people, believe it or not. Stay close, you know, reach out. Don't forget to continue to read, to continue to further your education. Stay tuned and just do your best. And remember your core and ethics. And if it doesn't feel good in your heart and in your gut, then you shouldn't do it. And just, you know, be awesome. Make us proud and continue to be the clinician that you were meant to be. So incredibly happy for all of you. Incredibly happy.
Hi, everybody. Congratulations. I think I've only had the pleasure of teaching one of you because I'm newest here, but I will just wish for you to learn the lesson that I feel like I'm perpetually learning. This almost feels like a graduation for me because I didn't I didn't get hooded at my graduation. But don't forget to take care of yourselves. You are only as good to your clients as you are good to yourself. So make sure to take care of yourself and do the work that you need to stay centered so you can be the best person you could be for your clients. So congratulations, and I wish you all luck.
Thank you to all the faculty for sharing their wisdom. And so now at this time, this will conclude our celebration of the Marriage and Family Therapy class of 2020. And so thank you.
Good job, everybody. Good job. Let us know when you get licensed.